So I get to give the talk today, so y'all get to hear what I have to say. I'm Deb, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I do. I know I've been here a few times, so I feel like last time I was here, Joe gave a talk on, he had a lot of show and tell. So I felt like that was a hard act to follow. So I brought a basket of show and tell stuff because we make over 200 products at our shop. So I feel like we're this little shop on the north, in the west loop. But I just want to give you a little bit of history on where we kind of came from. So about 20 years ago, I started this business out of my house. Matter of fact, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 22 years old. So I've always worked for myself. And within that is a lot of ups and downs, right? So trying to start your business and without any loans, without any backing. It was a one woman show the whole time. And I started it in my house, and then I had 2 employees. And I thought that was pretty cool. And we were doing that for about 5 years in my home. And we were doing 7 markets a week. We were in Green City to Daly Plaza to around all the suburbs and such. And that was pretty much what we were doing. And we got a little bit well known that way. I was a teacher prior. I had an early childhood daycare in my home. And how I started Abbey Brown was not like I just thought like soap was cool and let's just do it, right? I had a child, this is going back 30 years ago, that was allergic to like everything. So I was creating products for him and our family before products, the only thing that was on the shelf was Johnson baby shampoos and such, right? So he couldn't tolerate anything like that. So I started making things in-house for him. That being said, once I was teaching these kids how to make felt. I thought, oh, well, you need soap to make felt. So I thought, let's teach the kids some value add, right? So I started teaching them how to make soap, and I thought, I need a class in this. So I took myself out to Virginia Beach, and I thought I was in a class, but I was actually at the very first soap makers conference in the United States. There were 60 professional soap makers there. I was like, this is a thing? Who knew that this was a cottage industry? I didn't even know anything about this. I had no idea how to make soap, but I took in everything on that weekend, and I became really interested in the subject matter, and there's a lot you can learn about soap. I mean, it's something everybody uses here, right? So what I've learned is that through learning and teaching about soap, it's really engulfed me into this industry in a way that I never thought was possible. I became an aromatherapist through it. I became an herbalist through it, a master gardener through it. I've actually taught organizations through it. I've worked with individuals. I've helped create their brand through it. I've worked in Africa with it. I've worked in Cambodia with it. I've actually traveled quite a bit working with individuals and trying to create a brand name that somebody could take and utilize and help create entrepreneurial skill sets for kids and adults and prostitution and all kinds of other areas. So I'm really proud of that fact right there. But how I got started was this whole thing about felt, right? I'm thinking, okay, let's just teach the kids a little bit about soap, and we can teach them how to wash hands and stuff like that. Once I really got involved with it, it's like cooking. So if you like to cook, soap is really a great experience. You can learn so much about all the oils, everything where they're sourced from. I mean, oils come from all these wonderful trees around the world. Scents come from everywhere. So we started working in that, and I started making scent palettes for people that are looking to make perfumes or other products. So we can do anything, literally, from making a lip balm, which I think I brought some lip balms today for you all from the Braintrust and with their brand. And or we can make, it's more of a one-off we could do, or we do consistent branding for people that are selling all over. So let's go back. The price of a bar of soap is a little bit costly in a fancy store, right? So there's like the $7 bar of soap when you're used to paying maybe $1 for it, right? But then when you understand some of the chemistry that goes into it and the trickle-down effect into the environment and the biodegradable aspects of a good bar of soap as opposed to perhaps a dial bar of soap or a lever bar of soap, there's all these wonderful things that you get to experience when you actually treat your body. So we teach a lot about self-care and just actually looking at something that's a little richer, like we like a fine cup of coffee, we would like a fine bar of soap. I can make a new product every single day, but if it wasn't for the fact that I have a great team of people that I work with, it's really collaborative what I have to do. So I can design something in my head. Sometimes it comes based on like a need. Someone will come into the store and they'll say, you know, I got this little thing on my elbow here. Can you maybe help me with that? Or I have a like this eczema that won't go away and my shampoo's giving it to me. Or, you know, all of a sudden I know lots about lots of people's issues, right? And I can develop a product based on their need, really. But then it takes on a whole other platform because they're like little children, these soaps, you know? It's like you can't just make the soap and shove it out the door. You have to design a package for it. You have to have regulations. I'm regulated by the FDA, right? So I have to have all the logistics on the package. And I have to have it be represented somewhere. So I look at it like it's a collaboration. I call up Ginny, I say, hey, I have this idea, I want to make, say, a CBD oil soap or something. Can we work on some packaging together? And I'll have her come in and we'll talk about all the graphic design work that needs to happen with that. Once I have that done, I have to also find the materials, we make a lot of our packaging in-house, but there may be some labeling or something that I need to purchase, or I can do it in-house, or I have to buy the paper for the packaging, and we do incredible packaging. I brought a whole basket so you can kind of see a little bit of what we do. So whether we're making a full wrap bar or a naked bar with just a simple wrap, all this stuff has to be created somewhere, right? And so the material inside, excellent product, you have to have an excellent package. So you have to have a really great designer. And then you need to have really great PR people to get it out there. You have to have a wonderful website guy to help you get the stuff on the web, making it look nice, right? And any issue I have with the website is a phone call away. So I have Alex here that always helps me create every aspect of our website. We have 240 products on a website. There's a lot of material to go through. There's a lot of information. We sell retail from our shop, right? And, you know, when I first started out, it was all about growing the industry and such. So I started out with 2 people in my house. I had 16 employees. We had 3 stores, okay? We were at Navy Pier, we were at the train station, we were at all these markets. I wasn't having a good time. I have to say, it wasn't fun for me at all. This was no retirement program. I couldn't see an exit strategy in that to save my life. I was spinning plates like no tomorrow, and I wasn't really liking it much at all. So I had like my own childcare and employees. I really thought this is not the way I want this to work. So I cut way back and I redesigned what our mission was. And it was helping people, helping organizations, nonprofits, help start out other soap companies. So I teach a lot of classes. I do a lot of mentorships. I do one-on-one. And all those things are more beneficial than having 3 locations and 16 employees for me. So I feel like when you're doing your own business, you really, and being an entrepreneur, you can kind of really design where you want to go. I think the most important takeaway today is, you know, you have to, for me anyway, the most important takeaway is that you see the need, you fill the gap, you create a niche, right? And that is somehow represented in a wholesome way, and people will seek you out. So we're sought out. People don't just know us, they come and find us, right? And I may not make every bar on the shelf, but I think our options are really great. I love what I do so much. I love helping people. I love when people come into the store. I love it when we can really change somebody's skin. And I really just have a good time doing what I'm doing. So I would love to answer any questions. I was going to tell you a little bit about chemistry and all that good stuff, but I think you guys kind of get the idea. You take some oils that are wonderful for the skin that come from the environment. You move that into some sodium hydroxide. You put in some beautiful ingredients that we home grow, and you create a great product. So like going to the bakery, you know, it's an individual experience. Voila.
Great. Deb, you can design a soap for somebody that has allergies.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, as we do.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so there's a number of ingredients that people can't tolerate, so you can easily just take those out and create a small loaf for somebody, you know? So individualizing your process is really some of the fun stuff that we get to do.
That's awesome.
Do you do any medicinal soaps?
most of all of our soaps have medicinal qualities because they're all made with essential oils, and they're made with, all oil comes to the table with some integrity, right? So they have vitamins, they're enriched with things. We're an olive oil company, so we use olive oil in our soaps. Our soaps are all olive. I'm Greek, so I use olive oil, that's my thing. But yet we use avocado oils and almond oils and lemon oil. We use lemon in our soap as well, yes, in our lemon bar. So.
Do you have anything that's like fine tar soap that's good?
We do, yes.
I need that pronto.
Yes, we have like I said, we have so many products that I couldn't bring them all, but I wanted to give you just an eyeful of things that we do in packaging, right? So, you know, a Chicago themed box with a blue line soap, you know, pretty darn cute. All hand done, all made by hand in-house, and all designed in-house, right? We have artists that we work with that are local, so we celebrate community this way, you know? You make a nice candle, you know, you give it a nice local theme, you know, so if someone's in town, they're looking for a gift that says Chicago, we create stuff like that. Just recently, I did a project with American Express, okay? They contacted me 2 weeks prior and said, hey, we have this idea, we want to give out, Charles Barkley is going to be our rep on this, so we want to get these candles done. Can you do them in 2 weeks? I said, I think so. How many do you need? They said 23,000. So I was like, okay, I think I can do it. So they sent us a couple of the things. We created everything else. They gave this away at the Bulls game. It was a giveaway. So it was one of their sponsors, American Express, and they paid us tremendously well. And we did this in 2 weeks, dropped it off at the United Center, and it was a giveaway on one of their days. So you know, so we've done all sorts of range products for different sorts of individuals or companies. You know what? It was almost like I had done something else for the Bulls once. I had made a different package for the Bulls that they were using in some of their giveaway. And when they meet players, they like to do a Chicago themed, and they asked me if I could do some Chicago themed stuff just for them, and I did, and I think that was a little bit of a foot in the door with that. So.
I have clients gifts every year, so I'll love to collaborate with you.
I would love that. Everything we do is like a collaboration. So
I think Chicago needs
Do you do any liquids or foams?
I do foam and liquid soaps, but not for our own brand. So soap without liquid means it's a pure hard bar, lasts a long time. As soon as you add liquid to it, you have to stabilize it with alcohol, and you have to, so we do mostly oil products without water added. So liquid soap is a really nice cheap thing because it's 80% water, 2% alcohol, 18% real ingredient.
And we sell a lot of it.
I bet. Yep, and then you know what? They're going to pass this box around. You guys grab yourself a bar of soap and a lip balm. So all of it's organic. It's beautiful. And it just happens that Ginny was able to do this wonderful label for the Braintrust today. So, thank you.
You have a retail store